Welcome, guys, back to the I Love Wrestling podcast. I'm your host, as always, Justin Woolwine, and today we are welcome with the return of Rafael Quintero. How we doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
I'm doing great. Excited to be here. Excited to have you back on.
Yeah,
Our
man.
last conversation was a hit. I'm excited to see what's up with you this time.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to be here, man. It's always a good time. So yeah, I'm happy.
Uh, you know, I just want to give you props because I literally see you everywhere, doing everything, facing everybody. And to steal, I guess, a quote from Sheamus, banger after banger after banger. You be doing your thing, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, man. That means a lot, man. I think I try my best, and to hear that, it means a lot, man.
You're what, two and a half years in?
Yeah, I think I'm 2 and 5 months now.
Okay, and I swear to you, it's like you're a vet. Do you hear that a lot?
No, but I do. I will hear people be like people that wrestle longer than me will ask me for like advice or critique on something. I'm just kind of like, man, I should be asking you for advice. Why are you asking me? You wrestle longer than me. That's like a common thing I have with like people that are training in my school because there's a lot of guys who wrestle longer than me. I just think I get more experience just 'cause, like I feel like I'm going everywhere and I just pick it up really quick. But yeah, I always think it's funny because I always pull out the "What do you mean? I should be listening to you, man. You to be." So I think that's pretty funny that you say that.
But I mean, it's even funny that you bring up that people ask you for that kind of advice because I've been one of those people that's after a CSW event or a AAW event come up to you and said, "Hey, man, if I was going to do this thing, where would I start?" And you were one of the first people I asked. So I think it's just credit to how good you are at what you do.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
Um, but before we dive into whatever we're going to talk about, would you like to let the fans know where they can find you on social media?
Oh yeah, you can catch me on Instagram at the Rafael Quintero, on Twitter or X, whatever you call it, at the THA Real Quintero because somebody had my name already. And then on Facebook, just Rafael Quintero. But that's where you can catch me. And my email, if you ever want to book me for anything, it's bookrafaelquintero at gmail.com. And other than that, you can catch me at your local wrestling show somewhere. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of local wrestling shows, this Friday, as we're recording this on a Monday, this will come out on a Thursday.
Yeah.
You take on Mustafa Ali at forget the name of the CSW pay per view because I'm terrible and I didn't
Oh,
do
you're fine. I
research.
kind of forgot myself.
But at this Friday's CSW event, you'll be taking on Mustafa Ali. Are you nervous or are you excited? What's going through your mind going against somebody like Ali?
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous, but I feel like at the end of the day, it's just like I got to go out there and do what I do. I feel like whenever it comes to stuff like this, like when I wrestled like Trevor Lee at AAW, it was kind of like I don't want to look at it as like, oh, this is such a like a big match because it is, but I think that's how I get nervous and it gets in my head. So I kind of look at it as like at the end of the day, in reality, I'm just wrestling another person, except he was like in WWE and stuff. That's like the only difference. You know what I'm saying? So like I try to look at it as normal as I can so it doesn't get into my head and I freak out about it. But I am excited. I'm a little nervous, but at the end of the day, I gotta trust. Before I always go out when I'm in Gorilla, like right before I go out the apron, I mean the curtain. I'm always telling myself like this is what we trained for, man. So like, yeah, I think I just look at it as like it's another match. It's a big match, but in order to keep calm, I got to look at it as just like it's another match, man.
Did they tell you ahead of time, or was it when it announced that that's when you found out you was facing Ali?
Oh no, I was told by Steve Boz like he was just like, "Hey, come here." I was training in the bag, and someone pulled me to the front, and he was just like, "He's like, hey, we're gonna bring in Mustafa Ali. You're gonna wrestle him." And I was like, "Oh, cool, sweet." But yeah,
It's it's interesting how because sometimes I've heard that like you guys don't know until it's announced, and I've heard that happens a lot. So it's cool that Boz gave you the opportunity to say, "Hey, this is going to happen. We're going to announce it." And then maybe do you think it was a way for you to get prepared for that? Maybe mentally say, "Okay, I'm going to have this match. I got to do this. I got to get ready," and maybe take that pressure off.
uh, I think it helps a little bit, but it also just chills out the like excitement of it. Because I remember when I wrestled Trevor Lee, I was guessing that I was gonna wrestle him, and it happened, but I was sleeping, and I just got a bunch of notifications. Were like, "Congrats, congrats!" And I was like, "What the hell are you guys talking about?" And I was like, "Oh." I was like, I fucking got it. I knew it. I was like my biggest guess. I was like, I'm gonna wrestle Trevor Lee. Watch. And I called it. For this one, I didn't know Mustafa Ali was gonna be the guest. So like, I know ours was, but I didn't know Mustafa Ali was supposed to be. And when I was told, I was like, oh, sweet, that'd be cool. And I think it's like it's funny that like you say about like when announcing, but like I think like when I wrestled Conan Lycan at CSW, like it got like so much buzz, like in the comments, people were sharing it and like, oh, what a banger, dream match or whatever. And it kind of got the same reaction with me versus Mustafa Ali. So I think it's a cool thing to be like, I guess like see fans get hyped about a match because like the same way I'm getting hyped is like they're getting hyped too, and I think it makes you feel like, oh yeah, people want this. So I think that's cool.
Definitely. Something I do want to touch on, especially when it comes to CSW, is it looks like you finally put to bed this rivalry or feud with Iniestra at the last CSW event inside a steel cage. Are you glad that that's behind you, that you don't have to deal with Iniestra anymore?
Yeah, I'm glad I can finally move on and go do stuff. I think that was like Metro Division Quintero. Now we get to see like a different one where it's like we don't know what's next. I don't have a belt. I don't have to defend anything. But I think without the belt, it's like you leveled up. So now I'm like in a different stage of my career, starting off with well, obviously I was without the belt in the steel cage match, but that's like the end of the chapter, and now it's like I'm starting a new one, and it's against Mustafa Ali, a former WWE wrestler who's currently signed to TNA, and he's known for being a really great wrestler. So I think I'm starting it off with a good way. And this is like the season like premiere, I guess. Not really, but it's like a half season premiere.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Something that's always interested me, especially with rivalries like yours and Iniestra, is like the start. What between you two made it go so sideways?
I think it started with I'm correct. It started in a triple threat match, and it was me versus Samurai Dosal versus Inestra. And I remember I lost. I'm the one that I took the pin, and then after that the feud kind of started. But it started with like that's like a first meeting, and then the feud didn't start until I won what's it called, the number one contendership against Gringo Loco and Shane Hollister, and then from there the feud kind of started.
Okay. And then do you think like obviously things come to a boiling point in the TLC match when he gets hurt.
Yeah.
And a lot of people might say, hey, if Quintero didn't go for that crazy dive, maybe he wouldn't have got hurt. Blames thrown wherever. Um, do you think that was the boiling point, the straw that broke the camel's back?
I honestly thought after that TLC that was it. That was the end of this feud, but I guess it
Okay.
wasn't, and then we ended up in a steel cage match. So, yeah, I generally thought that was the end, and it turns out I didn't. So, but I think ending it in a steel cage match, the same place where things went wrong, is kind of like a good way to end it, I guess. Like I was a little nervous going into that match because it just felt very, I guess, cursed, like going back to the same place in another match, another stipulation match with something that could go wrong, which made me feel some type of way like, oh, it's gonna go wrong again. And I was very nervous again for that match, but everything ended up good, and I ended up with the dub. So that was a good, happy feeling. But yeah, it is. I did expect that to be the end, but clearly it wasn't, and we just ended up keep going.
Fair enough. Uh, you know, I don't think you get a lot of credit for the mic work that you possess. And I think in that sit down between yourself and Estra, and then Steve was there as well, you guys got to have your moments on the mic where you guys talked about why you hated each other so much and
Mhm.
why this rivalry meant so much. And I think that was when we got to see a different side of Quintero. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. I don't get the chance to speak a lot, and I feel like I have like at AEW they make me cut promos, but I always get so nervous. But I don't think I ever get to be myself. Other than when I do interviews, people ask like personal questions. I'm never scared to ask or like get asked personal questions. I actually enjoy it better because I'd rather have fans, which people know me for me, but like
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that one got that promo thing got like very personal, and I think I was able to explore a little bit of who I am, and I guess of like where I've come from.
I guess a little behind the scenes because I remember before the steel cage happened at the event before that, I talked to both yourself and Iniestra, and I was going to get you both on to do a podcast. Um, and I kind of had the idea to see if I could get you both on to do something similar, and then it happened, which is honestly why I waited to have this interview now. Because I
Yeah,
was like, they already did it. And I was like, damn, because I was going to try to do it myself, if you want me to be honest, because I thought it would be cool to have. I haven't seen other podcasters do
yeah,
that.
that is a pretty cool idea to be honest. I think like the idea when Hades told me about this idea, I was like, he was like, yeah, I wanted to be like Rock and Stone Cold, and like I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And I feel like no one does it in the Indies, so I think it did make it look legit.
I, I think it was one of those things that, especially like you said, on the indies, it doesn't happen a lot. And then if you look at the landscape of CSW, a lot of the pre-recorded vignettes and things like that are recorded beforehand and they're showed live at the event. This was one that you guys obviously filmed and then was posted on social media, so it had a different like it was a by itself, hey, this is a bonus kind of feel to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it helped build up like the storyline and like our rivalry. Sorry, I'm
Bless
sneezing,
you.
but like I
Bless
think
you.
thank you. I think it helped build the storyline, make it people get drawn into like, oh, you hear this is gonna happen. Oh, you hear, you know what I'm saying? It makes people go like, I guess, or have a reason to go see something than just like a
No.
poster of like him versus him tonight.
And sometimes in indie events nowadays, especially when they're month after month or even a month and a half apart, sometimes it can be hard to build a feud. So
Yeah,
it's cool to have that moment to where it's like, okay, here's a reminder of why these guys need to have this steel cage match or need to have this stipulation match to culminate this rivalry that we've built for so long. And
yeah,
it can be nice. It's refreshing to because not to say like there's so much wrestling going on. It's nice to be reminded of why we're watching these guys do what they're doing.
yeah, 100%.
Um, Last question about Iniestra, and then I'll move on. But in the steel cage match, there was a moment where both of you guys are standing across the top of the steel cage. It looked like you guys were about to dive or do something. Was there a plan for you guys to maybe jump and collide midair or something like that? Because there was just that standoff at the top of the cage, and it looked like something crazy was about to happen.
No, we were just. I think I wanted to get the illusion of like just us like staring at each other at the top of the cage, to like two warriors or like two fighters about to go at it. Because that the illusion looked cool. But no, that is crazy to think that though. I feel like that would be something we pull out. But personally, I didn't really want to kill myself in this match because of what happened in the before at the same place. I just didn't want, I guess, the curse to live on. So I was just kind of like, I don't want to really do something like that.
Which makes sense. And like I remember sitting in the crowd and like when that moment happened, it, it kind of got like a little bit of a hush over the arena.
Yeah,
And I think maybe everybody was expecting it, but in the back of your head, you're like, I don't know if this is such a good idea. So like
yeah,
part of me as a fan was like, it'd be badass to see them jump off and in midair and do something. But at the same time, do we really need to see them go to that lengths for our entertainment? Probably not.
yeah, 100%.
Um, Something that I find very interesting, and I didn't realize this until recently when I talked to Hans, but I've um, I realized that I went to a galley show about 2.5, 3 years ago, or it had to be less than 2.5 years ago because you was on it, and you faced Hans. It was in the middle of um, farm for
Yep.
galley, one of the farm shows, and I didn't realize that I was there until I talked to Hans and I was looking through his social medias. How did you get involved with galley?
So. True story. Yeah, that match was me versus Hans versus Mahiko. I think that was the first farm show we had actually. Yeah, I think that was like the first ever one we did. Because like my family would come. My family lives in the Belvedere area, so they come to see me anytime it's close to that. Like it's Belvedere, Rockford,
Okay.
so they would always go see that. But the way I got connected to Galley was because so when I first started wrestling, I was 2 months in, and like I remember the first CSW show was Spot Two versus Axel. And like to be real, like my real trainers are like Steve Boz and Axel Rico. Like I was trained by Axel when I first started wrestling. I don't really talk about it as much, and I really should because he deserves his flowers for everything he's done for me. But Axel basically like Boz trained me, but he never was like he always believed in me. You know, he always was like he would always the diamond in the rough actually came from him. Like he's the one that would be like, "That's the diamond in the rough right there, buddy." Like he'd always say that to people. He'd always be like, "Brother, that's the diamond in the rough," you know. And I just never. I always wanted a moniker, and it was right there in front of me until one day I was like, "What if I wanted the diamond in the rough?" But anyway, that's another story for another day. But he would never. I guess when it came to like the so at CSW or school, whoever's like they're a little more experienced. They get a chance to debut in the battle royal in the pre-show. You know that's like a common. It's a common thing that CSW does for their students or for anyone that shows up and helps and set up. The opportunity for you guys to get out there, show who you are. Like Boz didn't really think I could do it because he was like he's really new, but Axel was like he can do it, man. And so Axel put me like under his wing when I first started wrestling. I think that a lot of people know that. I think it's like the first time I've ever talked about this in an interview, other than like personal like wrestling buddies and friends that train with us. Because a lot of us are trained by Axel, but he kind of like just put me under his wing, and he's like my bigger brother for me, and he took care of me, and he put me in the right direction. And with that being said, like he took me to Galley one day, and he told me to come set up, and I set up for the big Lucha show, which is like Bandito and his whole team came to Galley. It was like a
Yeah.
cross promotion show. And then one day, at the second show I went to, it was like Lean Cigarado was there. I think he was like the name that they brought, and Ricky Marvin, I think, yeah. And then it was still at the Villa Park Mall, the Swap Mart, 5 Star Swap Mart, and I think someone canceled. Someone didn't make it, and I brought my stuff. I didn't have really good gear yet. It was just kind of like random stuff put together. And it's funny because I still have that same gear. I just added stuff to it, so I still wear my first ever gear. It's you just won't know which one it is because it's like you can't tell. It just got redone and stuff, so it looks newer. But someone was like, "Hey, give that new kid a chance," because Axel brought me and Axel put a good word in for me. And then I debuted at Galley in a 6 man tag. So like that's how I got with Galley. I know it was a long story, but like, yeah, I got with Galley through that. I just got an opportunity to wrestle, and ever since then, I've been going to Galley since day one. Galley always books me and keeps it real. Shout out Galley, shout out Carlos, Mr. Carlos Robles, for giving the opportunities that he's given me. And yeah, Galley isn't where I started, but I consider that my home promotion as well. I know CSW is because that's where the school I came from, but Galley's what gave me my first foot into a ring and allowed me to grow as Quintero because he's done a lot for me in my career.
Definitely. You know, and you have held championship gold there for well over a year.
Yeah, still a
Um,
champion.
it does that says something because I mean you're two and a half under 2.5 years in. You've held the championship for well over a year. Um, do you think that they rely on you?
I don't want to say they do, but I think like I am one of their like top stars as of late. I think.
Okay.
But it all comes with just I was just very loyal with them, and I just kept it real and constantly stayed with Galley because Galley is my home to me, and that's one promotion I'll always go for because I just generally love it there and it feels right.
You know, I've had the pleasure of talking with Axel on here. And recently have had guys like Joey Marks and Mason Conrad, and we've talked about how this new regime of Galley, whether it's yourself, whether it's Hans, whether it's Mahiko, Septico, um, all you guys are newer, younger stars that are champions, and it seems like you guys are what's going to bring Galley to its future. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. I
Okay.
think yeah, Galley, all the people that used to be part of Galley or used to be brought in for Galley are all signed now. So I think all of us are like the young new talent that's bringing. It's yeah, it's the future of Galley because we're all young and yeah, I think that's the best way to explain it. Like yeah,
Do you think it's a way to set you guys as the stars and to build a promotion around maybe you guys instead of relying on bringing stars from Mexico or places like that to build a card when they could just build a card around you guys?
yeah, 100%. I think some of the shows we do where like they don't bring a name in and we still have like this insane crazy show because that goes to show that we don't really need a big name, but whenever there is a big name, they're always wrestling Galley's talent. And I think Galley's talent can keep up with these big stars that have been all over the world. So I think that just goes to show the amount of hard work that this talent puts in.
Yeah. What's been your favorite defense so far of your championship in Galley?
Uh, I'd say me versus Jack Valor. That
Okay.
was one match who I don't think it's posted as much, man, but like that was one match that I so Jack would always say like he would always be like, I don't think I'm gonna get to wrestle you like before you like you're gonna get signed. I'm never gonna get the chance to wrestle you. And so we like pitched it to Carlos because I've wrestled Eddie before. I wrestled Eddie once, way before. It was like a dark match for like HAW, not a dark match because we're in the Indies, but like a pre-show match because we basically were like, hey, let us wrestle for free as long as we can wrestle each other. And the booker was like, okay. So we had this like banger match, and just because we wanted to wrestle each other, we drove like 2 hours to do that shit. But I didn't care because it was like I'm wrestling my buddy, my friend, because me, Jack, and Eddie are like are the trios. We're like the elite, but of the Chicago scene. But fucking
Okay.
yeah, they're the Young Bucks, and I'm Kenny Omega. That's like a joke we always say with each other. But
I
like
love it.
uh, yeah, so like Jack was the only one that I've wrestled like Eddie like twice already. I've never wrestled Jack. And one day messing around, I was like, Carlos, let me wrestle Jack 1-on-1. And he was like, you know what? Maybe. And then he like posted the photo, and I was like, no way. And like wrestling Jack, like I think it was a really good match. It was a banger match, and I think a lot of people don't share it, but like I think that was a really good match. I generally just enjoyed that match for Jack and for me. I got to wrestle somebody that I enjoy, that I train with all the time, so it was kind of like easy to work with, but it was fun.
You know, I'm glad you brought up Jack and Eddie because I'm huge fans of theirs. They tell me they enjoy the podcast. I'd like to believe so. But what brought you three together? What kind of grouped the three of you guys together?
Yeah, well, like I'm 24 years old. They're a little younger than me now because Jack's 19, Eddie's 18. They're not obviously that young compared to me, but and I'm also not that old. But I think about it that way. But honestly, man, it was like because like when I started training, like to this day, I'm still training like every day. Nothing has really changed, even after being booked everywhere in the Midwest from big promotions like Dreamwave and AEW to going to like TNA and NWA. Like I still train. I don't. I think people who come to this sport and this business and get bigger stuff and stop training, I think that's bogus because it's like you're lying to yourself. And I think you should work hard for what you want. So to this day, I still train hard and do what I do. And like Jack and Eddie, when they started, they were like that. They kept going. Like I think out of anybody in our school, it's like me, Jack, and Eddie. Obviously, Eddie's hurt at the moment, but like me, Jack, and Eddie would be day ones there. Like we were always training there every day. We rarely skip. They've skipped a lot compared to me. I've skipped like a couple of times because I was booked on the day of practices. Like recently, I actually just had a day where I was like, I'm gonna stay home and just rest. So the first time I've done that in 2 years. I think that goes to show the hard work and just dedication and discipline that I've had for this sport that I call, my favorite, my hobby, my wrestling, my favorite thing I love to do. So yeah, that's what connected us, man. And also like, I'm also like, I guess like nobody knows this, but like I'm very sober in my life. Like I'm 24 years old. I don't drink. I don't smoke. So in wrestling, it's kind of hard because a lot of these people who are my age or older, they like to do that, like to party and stuff, and I don't like that. And Jack and Eddie being young, and also because they're like they don't get into that, it makes having hanging out with them more fun because it's like we have fun by having fun and doing like random shit, not like oh let's get high, let's get drunk, or let's get this, if that makes sense. So I think that's like the reason why I connected with them better. because they're young, and it's kind of like they're just for me to hang out with people my age. It's kind of hard to find someone that's like how I am. Like I'm just sober. I'm just very dedicated to my love, the love of my dream and my sport. So that's really what connected me in Jack and Eddie.
It's cool to see. I mean, like-minded people, even with an age gap. I mean, 5 years is not a big age gap, but it's an age gap. So it's cool to see you kind of, I guess, for lack of better words, maybe being a big brother to them and being able to all of you do the right thing to make it in this business.
Yeah, we 100% they're like my little brothers to me, and they always tell me like whenever we have like serious conversations, they're always like, "Yeah, man, like you're like our big brother to us, and you always take care of us." As I do, I always try to look out for the boys as much as I can, and I mean, yeah,
I'm gonna jump back a little bit. We talked about, or you talked about Axel. I'm a huge fan of Axel. I'll be honest. I would have never found Quintero if it wasn't for Axel Rico. I would have never probably. I mean, I don't want to say ever, but it took me longer to find you,
yeah,
because he invited me to CSW. And you know, just the vibe that Axel gives off is very Big Brother esque. What about Axel and you kind of connected? Like, where did that connection spark to where maybe he said, okay, maybe I'm gonna, like you said, bring you under my wing and help guide
yeah.
you in the right direction?
Well, he said it best one day where he was kind of like, I forgot what I did. That was like a big moment in my career, and he was just kind of like, "Hey, man, you're a good example of someone who took the ball and just rolled with it." And Axel always said how like he always gave opportunities for others when he would try to help them, but they would always kind of do them wrong or just wouldn't commit and just do them dirty. We're like, hey man, like he put a good word for people, and they just would kind of fall flat on him. And I was like the guy that he gave, hey, come here, come to this show, come to this show, come with me. Let's see if you can get something. And I always went. You know, it's also like my mentality. I really want to succeed in wrestling. I want to be the best version of myself, of Quintero, inside of the ring and outside, even in my personal life. So like I just I knew the moment I joined wrestling I wanted to be something big in this. So like I knew I had to put my time in and work hard. So like Axel helped me on that. And like he was my bigger brother, even though sometimes I thought he was an asshole. And at the end of the day, he was just caring for me, wanted me to be better. It's funny that you asked me this question about Axel because like I just went to his wedding yesterday. And I remember when they were having speeches, like it was certain people that had speeches, right? Like his personal friends. But I generally was like wondering if I were to get asked to like do a speech, like I started to like, kind of like wonder what I'd say, and like, yeah, I would give Axel his like speeches, his flowers. I mean, because he has done a lot for me. If it wasn't for Axel to help me start going to Galley, going to JWA, going to all these promotions, I don't think my career would have started the way it started. It wouldn't have started hot. I wouldn't have gone out there. When I started wrestling, like Boz never taught me like the lucha style, the cool shit I do. Like, that was because of Axel. So it all comes from Axel. Axel is like the backbone of like my career where it started, and I wouldn't have started if it wasn't for him. I don't think I would have debuted in Gay. I would have debuted probably somewhere else, and I feel like not to be mean, but it would have been like I think I would have started like a shitty career where I just wouldn't get booked as much. And I think he helped me a lot by bringing me under his wing and putting in a good word for me, and me going out there and just doing what I do.
You know, I agree in a different way, I guess, just because like I said, he asked me to come to CSW, and then I remember my first time going to a show, trying to ask people to do interviews or whatever, and Axel came up to me and was like, "Hey, who you want to talk to? Who you want to do this?" And he pushed me in the right direction. He said, "Hey, go do this," or "Are you nervous about talking to this person? Let's go talk to him," or things like that. Like I don't know what it is about Axel, but he's just so impressionable on somebody. And I guess when he can tell that you want to do good things, he's willing to help you do those good things,
Yeah, 100%.
which just stands out to his character and
Yeah,
the kind of person he is.
he has a good heart and a good soul, and yeah, he's done a lot for a lot of us, man. Like, he truly has trained a lot of us. A lot of the new generation you see at CSW, like he's trained a lot of us, and I don't think we don't give him his flowers as much as he deserves. But yeah, he's a real one for everything he's done. If it wasn't for him, like not even Steve Bosby, my real trainer, would have done the stuff that Axe has done for me.
Something I am a little interested in is, if you go to your cage match and you look down the list of matches you've had, there's stipulation matches left and right. You've done ladder matches, TLCs, cages. But one of the most brutal matches I've ever seen you be in was against Ace Perry in the Mexican Death Match in AAW. I was there live in the crowd. And you guys put on one hell of a show. And I got to talk to Ace about it a little bit when he was in the podcast. How do you prepare for a match where you're going to go in thumbtacks and through tables and get stabbed in the forehead? Like how do you prepare for those things?
I think I just have the mentality of like fuck it, like we're just gonna go out there and do it. I think Axel always used to say like I never believed this shit, but Axel used to always say like I think you be having this BMX background is what helped you kind of be really good at wrestling, and I never believed that because I just never saw it. But one thing that helped me with BMXing, that I think helps me with a lot of my moves and dives, is the fucking mentality of like I'm just gonna send it. Because when I BMX, man, I used to jump out of roofs and like 360 like big ass stair sets all the time and like just do crazy ass shit. Not really questioning my life or if I'm gonna be fine. Like I didn't care if I ate shit. It was just normal. So that was just like that's always helped me with that wrestling because I'm just like, hey, fuck it, like I'll just send it. I just trust myself. But that match, shout out Ace Perry, man. Even though we've been rivals before, but that's one dude I'd love to wrestle again and again and again. He's awesome, and shout out to him for going to Japan and shit and doing what he does. I think that dude's very talented. And the match I had with him before the death match, when I had a singles match with him, was like my first debut at AEW as a singles match, and I think we killed it. And now we're there. So like, shout out him, man. That was one match I really really love and enjoy. And yeah, man, for that match, it was just the send it mentality that I've had since BMX, from skateboarding days, from all that. It's just like send it, let's do what we do. And being out there was crazy as hell, man. Like, first of all, blood smells like shit. Like it smells like iron and pennies. And having that, man, I didn't think I was gonna bleed that much, but like there was a moment where I was laying on a ladder and that blood was just everywhere. And I remember I just couldn't see it and I kept wiping it and I couldn't like it was still more and more. I felt like I was drenched in it. And looking at the photos like I was, but I was like, holy shit, I didn't think it was that bad. But that was cool, man. I'm not gonna lie, like having blood going down your face is sick. Like it feels cool. Like now I know what deathmatch wrestlers feel like, but I was just like, man, this is awesome. It is wild to like the outside eye. Like my mom and them were like, why would he do that? But like to me, it's like that shit's so cool, man.
Just for fun, as a kid, I played it a couple times, and not too long ago, just being funny, I did like a face reveal on my action figure channel before I started the podcast. Might
Yeah,
have been right after. I can't remember. Whatever. But my brother hit me in the head with a chair and I bladed. And like there's something about it that's just fun. I don't know what it is
yeah,
about getting some color, but it's just like most people, like to the normal person, cutting yourself in the forehead is going to seem weird, and they're going to say maybe you should go set in a cell, in a padded cell. But it's something about it. As a wrestling fan or as a wrestler, I'm sure it just gets the adrenaline pumping and makes
yeah.
the makes it that more special, I guess.
Yeah, I think like that whole match, man. I was just waiting for that spot. That's all I cared about. I was like, I didn't remember all this shit, but I need to just waiting for that. And when I did do it, I didn't think of it, man. It was cool. And afterwards, that the feeling of looking at myself in the mirror being completely bloody was a cool scene.
You know, and just to bring up Ace Perry again, I don't think he gets the credit for how intricate of a character he is. And I
Oh,
like
100%.
I talked to him, and a lot of it was inspiration from Jimmy Jacobs. And like, I mean, both of those guys, it's kind of crazy how their mind works. But was you able to talk to Ace at all and maybe learn anything from Ace?
hmm I don't think I learned anything from Mace, but I fell in love wrestling Ace. Like I love to wrestle that dude any time of the day. Like anytime I see him wrestling, I'm like, that's the man right there, man. Like he's a shit, man. He's awesome, and I think he deserves a lot because he's just great, man. I think he's a slept talent. Like I feel like Ace Perry should know who Ace Perry is. And
Definitely.
also, like when I wrestle, I'm like I didn't really know that much of them because I don't really know that much of indie wrestling. Now that I am an indie wrestler, it's different. But like when I first started wrestling, like Eddie would be like, "You don't know who this guy is? You don't know who this guy is?" And I'm like, "Yeah," because like I wasn't a wrestling fan. I was a WWE fan before I wrestled, and now I have to be an indie wrestler fan because I'm an indie wrestler. So that was the different about that. And my first look into indie wrestling was like a PWG clip with like Ricochet and Leo Rush, and I fell in love with indie wrestling. But like, yeah, it's like I think A Series that one dude. Like I feel like everybody should know about him because he's awesome. And speaking of the match, I have the pinata like right there hung on my kitchen, which I think is funny because there's still thumbtacks in there and stuff.
There's still tax in it.
Yeah, there's still tags and everything in it.
That's badass.
Yeah,
Um,
I remember I went into the ring and found it, and I was like, oh, hey, I'm taking this shit.
whose idea was the pinata?
Mine. The moment I was told I was in a Mexican death match, I knew already. Thing is that and I wait to get a pinata, and I could only find a little one at Target. So I was like, well, this is gonna have to do, and I just bought a shitload of thumbtacks and shoved them in there.
And it works. It works.
Yeah.
Was that match meant to lead up to your match against Robert Anthony?
I don't know. I just know that I won that match, and I was told I had a match for the belt, and I think it was kind of like you went through this whole thing and ended up the victorious, and I think you deserve a title shot.
Okay. What was that match against Anthony like? Because I know he's a vet. It took him a while to get that Heritage Championship. What was that matchup like for you?
Oh, that was man. I was nervous to wrestle. Ego. Hold on, let me get some water.
You're good.
My bad. I started choking for some reason, but I was really nervous to wrestle him, man, because he's a vet, and I've wrestled like vets before, like Boz. And when I wrestled Boz, I was really scared of like, what if I stiffed him on accident or some shit? He'd give me shit for it. And I was just scared to fuck up. Like I don't know why. Like I was more scared to wrestle Eagle than I was wrestling Trevor Lee. Like
Okay.
and like it's just because he's such a vet, and I look up to him in a way where I'm like, this guy is like so cool, man. And I love that match. That match was fun as shit, man. It was cool to wrestle Eagle, and I'd like to wrestle him again.
Do you see yourself taking that Heritage Championship sometime in the future?
Yeah, I believe that one day I could become one of the champions at AEW, and one day I would love to be one of those banners at AEW. I love that, like the Lucha Bros are on on there. Josh Alexander, Trevor Lee, all these guys that have made it to the top. And one day I want to be able to be on there, and a kid that's coming up in the Indies go like, "Oh, that's Quintero, man. He used to be here. He used to set up this ring too, man." And because that's how I look at that, man. I'm such a mark for the Lucha Bros, and kind of the reason why I watch like Raw because I just want to see Penta. The reason why I watch SmackDown, I just want to see Phoenix. So like seeing them there at a place that they used to grind and get to and work hard to show who they were and their talent. Now that I'm there, it's kind of like following the footsteps and also like filling those shoes that are going to be given to you in a way. So, but I love AEW, man. It's probably like my favorite promotion to wrestle for, to be honest.
Okay. Um, One match that we talked about a little bit earlier, actually, but that kind of came out of left field that I don't think his fans was expecting, was yourself versus Conan Lycan.
Yeah,
There was a lot of rumors at the time that maybe Lycan wasn't coming back, for whatever reason, and it kind of came out of nowhere. He was announced to be facing you, um, and you guys clearly have a ton of mutual respect for each other. Seems like you may or may not be friends outside of the ring. What was it like to get
yeah,
in there with somebody and just go out and have an absolute amazing match?
yeah, 100%. That's we are friends outside of wrestling, and but it never started as friends. Like kind of he was just a random guy, man, and we became close friends and shit. And he's a cool dude. That was one match, and no one has booked it as a singles. I've had a scramble match with him and a triple threat match with him, but like never singles, and that was the first time we got to do it. I think we did it at the right place. So when I was told I was gonna face him, I was like, "Oh shit, cool!" And then like seeing it posted and everyone like people commenting like, "Oh hell yeah!" this should be the main event, and it was cool. That was badass.
And then what do you so like obviously coming up, you're going against Ali. Not to say you're looking past Ali, but is the CSW world title in your vision? Like what's next for you at CSW? After Ali, like where does Quintero go from here?
I would love to go for the world heavyweight. I won the Metro already. I'd love to win that one. I'd love to win the tag teams. I'd love to be a Grand Slam champion at CSW, so I can say I've won them all.
How do you feel about the Boz, Marche, Russ Hamilton made men situation?
I think they're gonna fall because the the Haykeepers fell, War Horse's version of the Haykeepers fell, and this will fail as well.
Okay. Is it do you think there's just do you think they'll fall within? Do you think it'll take you guys, maybe the pure CSW hearts, to take them down? Like, how do you see that fall happening?
I think CSW's guys will take them out one by one. I think it'd be cool to be like Survivor Series or some shit, like go like and like war game type of style match. But I do think they will fall, losing to like the good boys. Man, hopefully it's like B, Jack, and Eddie going against. So that'd be sick. But like, yeah, I think they will fall one day
Okay.
because they've all been good guys before, man. So that'll their time to fall will come.
So you threw out a Survivor Series type match. So like just for fun, we're fantasy booking here. Who 5v5? Who's on the made men's side? Who's on the CSW team?
All right, for the made men, how many? It's 5-on-5, right?
5 on 5.
So Marche, Bruss, and Boz, they would probably get the help of. They would get TJ Steele because he originally helped them, so that's 4. And they would probably get like Hades if he comes back, right?
Okay.
Old vets. And for my team, it would be me, Jack Eddy, Lizardman, and KJ Carter against them.
Okay.
All the young talents, like 2 tank teams, and me. So against going them, even though they're all older than us, but we're younger, faster, and we could probably come out with the dub. They got Marche and like Bruss, and they're big dudes, but a lot of us versus one big dude can take the man down. So I think we'd come out with the dub.
I just want to say I like your attention to detail because anytime I've brought up TJ Steele, it seems like everybody forgets that TJ Steele made an appearance. He helped them. I'm pretty sure he got injured or something, so he has been off for a minute. And TJ seems to just pop up whenever he wants. Do you think it's just a matter of time before TJ makes his presence known again?
Yeah, he did help them before, so you can tell they're obviously he's a one phone call away. So you never know when he can show up again.
Um, I was talking to Axel. Axel won the Rumble, um, at the last CSW event, and it seems like he has a championship opportunity coming up. Would you would you be interested in, let's say Axel takes down Marche, for yourself and Axel to have that, mentor versus protege moment for that CSW world title?
I would have loved for that to happen in CSW. That's one match I really want to have at CSW is me versus Axel Rico. He was my first little singles match, but my second match in my career at Galley in the singles. And if we shared the ring once again, actually, that is true. We wrestled out one fall. One fall entertainment, my debut there. He's been there before me, but we wrestled there again in the middle of my career. So we could wrestle now, but at our home promotion.
Who would you say is like your dream match? If you could wrestle anybody, who at this stage in your career do you think you could have just an absolute barn burner with?
Bandito.
Bandito? Okay.
That is my dream match. I don't care. That's one match I really, really want. I think I'm just a mark for him. I think he's a shit. He's the awesome. I don't know if you saw Ring of Honor, the pay per view, but him versus
Him
Takeshita
versus
was the
Takeshita,
shit,
beautiful.
dude. That was awesome, and I'm just like, man, I one day could have this match with this dude. Another guy that I'd love to wrestle, but I think he's like, he's a little older now, man. But like Cody Bushi is another guy I look up to a lot. I think he's fucking awesome. He's the shit. I hate when people shit on him though and call him washed because he's not washed. He's coming up slowly, man. But him or like these are the three that I look up to in the Indies. But like Bandito, uh, Kota Ibushi, and like Tyler Bate. I'm a big fan of his UK style. If I could be any gimmick, I would be no knee pads, boots, and trunks, and I'd be doing the strong boy gimmick if I could. I've done it before in other promotions that are like small because like no one knows me here, but like yeah, that's like who I'd be. I'm such a mark for Tyler Bate, but like that's why I do the punch that he does once in a while because I'm a mark for him. But matches that I think I'd have a banger with would be like Bandito. Oh, Blake Christian. I don't people hate on him, but I think I'd have a cool ass match
I
with that
love
dude.
Blake Christian.
Okay, good, good. I thought
The
there's always people
vanilla
that are like,
baby gimmick is great. I love it. My dad
yeah,
hates it so much,
yeah.
but
See,
I
there's
love
so
it
many
so
people who
much.
dislike it, so it's kind of like I needed to see the opinion first. But I think me and Blake Christian would kill it. Bandito would fucking kill it. I'd love to wrestle Bandito's brother, Gravity. That'd be sick.
That'd be
I wrestled Beast Taurus before, and I was really great. And I'd like to wrestle him again in a singles match. I think that'd be fucking banger. Other than that, yeah, it was that Snow doesn't come to my head, but those are the guys I'm like I could kill it with these dudes.
absolutely,
Well,
absolutely. What about
Khalees,
Vikingo?
oh, Vikingo, I'd love to. I would love to just base Vikingo on a lot of the shit he does. I feel like I can base him for it. Like I really want to take his. He did this with Kenny Omega. He used to do it a lot back in the day. He hasn't done it in a minute, but he would stand on the post, on the ring post, like facing the crowd, and someone would be under him, and he would like front flip into like a Rana. And I always wanted to base that. I think that shit's cool. Vikingo would be someone cool to wrestle with because of that. Another one that I would like to wrestle too. I'm just big into like the luchas, man. So I'd love to wrestle the luchas because lucha libre is awesome. But like, Samurai del Sol Kalisto because I've wrestled them in a six man in a triple threat, but never in a singles. And I feel like we would do some magic in that ring. Same with Lince Dorado. I'd love to wrestle him. He's commented before that he's wanted to wrestle me. It's never happened, man. He's with WWE at the moment, so like hopefully one day it does happen.
Some promoters gotta step up, especially if he's
Yeah,
asked for it. You'd think they would they'd make it happen. They put the pen to
yeah,
paper. Um,
yeah. That's
I forgot what I was gonna say, which is crazy. Um, until I regain my thought, I'm gonna ask about NWA Chicago. I know that right now it seems like it's on the break of being one of the next big promotions in the Chicago area. I mean, it's got the NWA banner under it. Um, Crowds are nice. They just crowned their first champion. What's it like working with NWA Chicago? Is it different than working for other indie promotions throughout the Chicago area?
uh, I feel like NW Chicago is like its own thing. Like it is different from the indies, but it's cool to be on there and to share the ring with some of the people. Like I wrestled Homicide on there. I teamed up with Trevor Murdoch with someone I saw as a kid wrestle the Hardy Boys. And so like I think it is a cool it's different, but like yeah, man, I think it's a cool opportunity for all the dudes that go through there and hopefully get a chance to get somewhere. Because of NWA, they gave me my first chance to like wrestle in front of a TV and an audience. So that was cool as shit. That's always one thing I'll never forget wrestling in front of when I did the Back to the Territory show for the NWA TV and I was going to scramble for the Junior Heavyweight Championship, which is Joe Alonzo at that time. That was a cool match because it was like, damn, my first debut was against one of their belts. Like that's pretty awesome if you actually think about it. And when I went there, I remember afterwards, I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do for a life. Like, I always knew I wanted to be a wrestler, but that day was like, yep, this is it. This is what I want to do. I don't care about anything else. This is what I really want.
So I regain my thought. I'm going to jump back to Kota Ibushi. Ibushi, you brought up that some people say he's washed. I've heard the same thing about the likes of even Okada or Kenny Omega, just because they're
Yeah.
not doing their New Japan like that New Japan style. Do you think, I mean, as a wrestling fan or as even a wrestler, taking time to let your body recover after doing those intense, badass matches for however long and having, a slower paced style, do you think it's fair to be called washed whenever you're just letting your body recuperate to where than when you have a match like Okada and Omega did just this last Saturday. That I mean, that you bring it out for the big moments.
I think it's bogus. And also, from a wrestler's perspective, fans who are like fat as fuck and live in their parents' basement are always gonna shit talk wrestlers. They're not athletic athletes at all. We're humans at the end of the day. I don't think people realize that. I generally think some fans are really dumb where they don't realize like, dude, we're humans. We're not robots. We're like not machines. We're not like out of this world characters. We're normal people just like you. Difference is that we're wrestlers and doing stuff. So when people say are like you're injury prone or like it's like dude, we're humans and like we will like I remember Chris Jericho once said like he hates when people say like botch, but like yeah, like dude, this shit's real life. Like things happen. Just like if somebody would trip walking down the street. Same way with us, man. Like yeah, like Kenny Omega and those guys are like a little older, man. So like they're not gonna be moving like they were when they were like 20 years old, man. Like that's normal though. I think fans are just fucking assholes and just want to shit talk what they could never do in their life.
As a fan, I actually agree with you. I'm not gonna. It's just I always like. I think even if you go back and watch the live stream I just did for Monday Night Raw, I think I bring it up to like my dad or my brother, one of them. I bring it up to him, and it's just like, got to remember, like we are on this side of the barricade or this side of the camera. You don't know what's going on with you guys physically, mentally,
Yeah,
whatever. I think we were
100%.
talking about Seth Rollins because Rollins right now they're saying Rollins may or may not be hurt. It could be story, it could be real. Who knows? I'm not one to speculate because I'm not a
Yeah.
doctor. I gotta believe
Yeah.
what they tell me. So like, or even if he's taking time off, like that's not up to me. That's maybe
Yeah.
his body hurts. Give him a break.
100%.
So like, I always get it, and I think that's something that being a podcaster has been able to teach me is like now I've got to talk to you guys and learn about you guys in a way that makes me realize that you guys are also just human beings. Like you guys
Yeah.
enjoy this just as much as I do. And we are all humans. We were all fans at one point in time. We all love this for a certain reason. And we all have an opinion. So like those things matter some more than others. And I think you guys doing it, your opinion matters more because you've done
Yeah. That is really reasonable. 100%. I believe that.
it. um, and so like it's crazy when you go to some events sometimes and these guys like you see people in the crowd that believe it wholeheartedly, and it's like sometimes you like I get believing it wholeheartedly because you want to soak
Yeah.
this in, but at the same time, I mean, afterwards you talk to him and he's just a normal guy. So like, I don't know why at this moment you get so worked up to want to fight him or cuss him or like. And I get that might be part of the show, but sometimes it gets taken too far,
Yeah.
and I've
100%.
never understood why.
Yeah. 100%. I think, like some fans just get that shit get so fucking like heated, man. Like I remember one day Eddie's brother, they went to Indianapolis for the Royal Rumble, and I guess like he hated that Jey Uso won his brother, and he was like, "God damn it!" like just yelling. And his dad was like, "Dude, chill the hell out!" Like, he was, yeah, I think that's funny as shit. Because like I've never gotten that mad before because of wrestling. I have actually, but never like in public. But like I guess he was like throwing a fit in public. But that's funny as hell.
And it's funny because I've that you bring that up. Like even getting mad at wrestling or upset or getting evoking emotion, it's like I for so long I did, especially like growing up. Like growing up as kids, like you at that point we believe it. Like I remember when the streak died, I cried. Or like
Yeah,
just moments like that is like, okay, this it hits home. And then like I'm learning now trying to do like live streams and stuff that I've become so unemotional towards it to where like doing a live stream reaction video is difficult because it's like I taught myself not to
yeah,
feel emotion about this, and now I have to because people enjoy it. And I think the thing that finally got me to, I mean, do that a little bit is this John Cena run, and maybe because it's just played into my childhood so much. and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I just want to see the greatest hits of John Cena again. Has there been anything that, I mean, recently or at all that's been able to evoke that kind of emotion from you?
When John Cena turned heel, man, I remember I was at POW and I was like, no fucking way he turned heel. And Eddie was the one that was like, dude, no fucking way. And I was like, are you serious? And I went to go watch and it was blowing up my Twitter. And like see people put like this kid lost his hero today, like shit like that. And I'm like, damn, dude, I was a big Red John Cena fan. I was kind of shocked, man. It made me more interested in wrestling. I love wrestling in general. Like this week, I was at Dreamwave, and the whole time I wasn't even watching the show. I was fucking focusing all in, man. I wanted to see Hangman win and unlock that briefcase and hold that belt up high. So like my emotions rised up high. All I wanted was to see Hangman win, and it's kind of like that, man. So like I love wrestling for what it is. I'm not one of those wrestlers who love to shit talk. Ah, this company's better. This company's like shut the fuck up. Like I just like to enjoy wrestling. I think wrestling's cool, and there's different wrestlings for different take different strokes for different folks, man. So like I don't really like to be like, this is better, this is better. I just enjoy it. I think it's there's so much good and so much bad and everything, but I like it for what it is. There's a reason why I'm a wrestler.
Yeah, it's cool you brought up the kind of tribalism that we get in wrestling nowadays. Because I mean, even down to the area we're in the Chicago area, there's tribalism, whether it's you're an AAW fan or a CSW fan or a freelance fan or whatever. And the craziest part about it is you see the same faces at every single show. And I'm
Yeah.
like, and I've never understood how like you can wave one flag and then go to another and then still evoke so much hate, but you're obviously just a fan. Like, why not just be a fan? Why not
Yeah.
just enjoy it for what it is? And I think wrestling might be the only sport I've ever seen where people get so worked up because another company is doing good or somebody makes a mistake in this way. Like,
Yep.
and it's crazy because it's all like when you really break it down, it's all written down on a piece of paper beforehand.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Like, see, you get it. That's what I hate when I fucking hear people like just be like, "Well, this is better." Well, they're not that good because of this. And I'm just like, dude, shut the fuck up and just enjoy what the hell you're watching, man. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, I think that's so annoying. It just pisses me off. I ain't going a whole rant about this, but like, I always deal with this shit so much with wrestlers because they're always trying to be like, "Oh, AEW's this, AEW, WWE's like." To me, I'm just like, bro, I just watch it. I just love what I watch. Like, I don't complain. I think if I that makes it not fun.
Yes,
And I'm just like, when I was a kid, I remember watching WWE, and then I found TNA, and I was like, whoa, this is
this is
cool,
badass.
different. But I didn't go like, fuck the other company. No, I just I liked watching wrestling, man. It's different.
It wasn't like, hey, this ring's got 6 sides, so I don't like the 4 side ring no more because this one's better. It has 2 extra sides or something stupid like that. But that's how wrestling fans can be.
Yeah,
Is just and it's insane. I've just never understood it. And
they'll find a
like
reason to hate just to hate.
it can be infectious because like if you're sitting in a room full of people that are just like, I hate this for this reason, it's like it just turns the whole mood down. You're like, man, can't we
Yeah.
just enjoy what we're watching? Like,
Yes.
what the hell?
Yeah, 100%. I do 100% believe in that.
I got one more question for you. It's getting late. Otherwise, I talk to you all night. But I got one more question, and I'll let you go. Um, last time before we got off here, we talked about goals. At the time, he was Metro Division champion. Um, obviously, that title is no longer with you. It's time to move up, spread them wings. What's next for Quintero? What are your goals for the rest of the year?
I like to I'd like to become a heavyweight champion at CSW, become a champion at AAW, travel a little more, wrestle outside of the United States. I'd love to wrestle in Mexico, Canada, or even Japan. I'd love to. That'd be awesome. I like to see myself on TV, whether it's AEW or WWE or even TNA again, or even NWA, man. I just want to get out there more. I want the world to know who Quintero is, and I want to just get better as a person, inside of wrestling, outside of wrestling, just be happy with what I do and what I love and be I'm always very grateful. I'm very grateful about life. So my goal is just to be happy with everything that I have in life. And I do a pretty good job realizing what I have in life. And I'm a very high believer in God. I'm always praying, thanking Him for everything He's given me. So, yeah, man, just stay healthy and keep doing what I do, improving in everything I do, and just be the better version I am. Be a better version of myself tomorrow, and take it day by day.
Okay? I love it because it's simple, easy, makes sense.
Yeah,
Quintero, thank you so much. Like I told
thank
you
you, man.
off air, I won't be there this Friday. Very devastated because I would love to see yourself versus Ali. I'm sure I'll see it on replay. I hope you best in that matchup. And if you ever want to come on here for part three, like I told you last time, doors always open. I love our conversations. Thank you.
Always down, man. Always down.
I will. I'll leave this and see you next time then.
See you. Thank you.